They think I can get these clowns giving me money for JPEGs. This is the easiest shit I ever done my whole life. Imagine if Trump was still the president and he changed his profile picture to an NFT.
I found myself massively overpowered this morning looking for some news to cover.
I don't know really what this video is at all. I just thought it was funny. It was titled The Ultimate Form of Greed. I think it'll just be funny to watch.
And there's an article here. Netmarble promises a bunch of blockchain titles despite their being banned in its home country. So it looks like Netmarble, a company that's worth over $6 billion, have decided to forsake their own market to just basically chase the greed, to chase the bag.
Well, how do you think they're going to get to 7? How do you think they're going to get to 7 million if they're not selling bullshit?
This is obviously kind of ridiculous that they would be releasing the majority of their games as a South Korean publisher in not South Korea because the regular...
Well, yeah, because they can't do it there. It's the same reason, like, why do you think Aiden Ross had to go over to Mexico to gamble on that one website? You think he just wanted to go down to Mexico randomly? You know what? Let's go down to Mexico and we'll do a sponsor stream while we're there. It happens to be this gambling website. Isn't that crazy? It's just a vacation, guys. What, you don't want them to have a vacation? What? Oh, now people can't have vacations. Wow, what the fuck, man? The viewers are just, this is too much.
Inflation in South Korea means that you can't play to-earn blockchain games in the country. Now, when the majority of your audience is in said country, releasing 14 of 20 games, which is what they're doing, they have something called NTP, Netmarble to the press or something to that nature, where they basically show like all the games and talk about all the games that they're going to be releasing upcoming. And of the 20, 14 of them are going to be blockchain based. Now, if you don't understand how the Korean market works in general, I'll just give you a bit of a rundown. Pay to win over there is pretty widely accepted, although their perception of what is pay to win is quite different from our perception because of obviously what they're used to, cultural differences, etc.
Okay.
But the reason that this is very clear. If you've got a free to play game, there are ways you have to monetize that game, and you get an allowance to be a little bit more over the line than if a game's pay to play or if you have to buy or subscription, etc., etc.
Yeah, I think that's the same way Western audiences think too. Like Western audiences like don't really do a lot of pay to win games. Like it's not as like there's more of a stigma against it now. But like as I said before, like I really don't give a fuck if a game is pay to win if it's free. Like, it's a free fucking game. People can make a game however they want. Now, I think it's stupid. I probably wouldn't play it. But people can do whatever the fuck they want. That's the way I see it. Let people do what they want.
And obviously in South Korea, most games are free to play because of the nature of how people play games. They don't play games at home as much.
Yeah.
It's mostly in PC bangs, which means games have to be free to play because nobody's buying the games. That's why the South Korean single player market is pretty much non-existent. It's not really a big thing over there.
That's an interesting insight. I didn't think of that.
Are being played are games that you can play for free, things like League of Legends, PUBG, and MMOs in general. Now, that means obviously they are very accustomed to pay to win in their games.
Right.
And it seems like the South Korean companies are now thinking like, oh, we're already milking this audience enough. We've already pushed the boundary of what we can get to with our own market. So let's just exploit other markets with this thing that's even worse than pay to win, in my opinion.
Well, it's obvious that they're doing it for money. It's the same reason, like, man, like, why are there no sweatshops here in America? Why doesn't Apple just have iPhones, and why don't Nike just have shoes made here in America? I mean, that would be more convenient, right? I mean, that's mainly where they sell them. I wonder why that doesn't happen. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. I had to get my breakfast.
Of course, in a play-to-earn economy, 99.9% of the time, the people that put the most money in are going to earn the most money. And, of course, if you can buy something from somebody in the game, then you can obviously also buy resources, thereby making every game that you play just the pinnacle of pay to win, right? So I'm looking at this article. Quote, the blockchain-based games made by Netmarble will integrate the enjoyment of games. I fucking sincerely doubt that one, brother. Along with intangible assets through NFTs. Definitely intangible, though. and I believe that the gaming industry will grow even bigger than it is now. Bang Junhyuk, the billionaire founder and chairman of Netmarble, said in a press conference. Thank you very much, Forbes, for letting us know that he's a billionaire, because that's how you know this motherfucker doesn't care about anything that he's saying right now. He literally... If somebody's a billionaire, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say you're probably so out of touch with reality and how other people do things and live their life, because money is almost no object to you, right? You can do whatever you want with it. You see things like this as just being like, you know, monopoly money. People are just, oh, the little people are going to give me more money. Bang 53 announced that
I think he just doesn't give a fuck. It's not a matter of like some kind of crazy disconnected person that doesn't understand the way that things work. No, he says, I'm just gonna farm these fucking idiots. They're gonna get these clowns giving me money for JPEGs. This is the easiest shit I ever done my whole life. We used to have to work. We ain't even gotta do that anymore. They do it for us. You think he doesn't understand? He not stupid.
He's preparing to launch 20 new games, of which about 70% will use blockchain technology. One of the new games, called A3 Still Alive, is a play-to-earn game that allows users to monetize intangible in-game assets, such as weapons, with cryptocurrency. A3 Still Alive will be Netmarble's first play-to-earn game and is expected to be released in March. Most of the 20 new games are aimed at gamers overseas, said Bank, of course, because how could they not be? You can't play those games in Korea. Play-to-earn games are banned in Korea as regular.
I wonder if our dumb fuck politicians here are ever going to get on the ball and do the same thing. What do y'all think? When do y'all think all Biden and Mitch McConnell are going to put their heads together and figure out this whole crypto? You think Biden and Mitch McConnell are going to come together and try and figure out how to use it, how to fucking use this thing after all, to finally figure this shit out? How to use one of these? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Is a concern that play-to-earn games could fuel gambling addiction among the youth.
Yeah.
Oh my god. How is it that South Korea are more cottoned onto this than the rest of the world right now? That this needs to be regulated, even if you're somebody, by the way, who is interested or mentally, emotionally, financially involved in cryptocurrency and things like that. You need to be able to admit that there needs to be some checks and balances in there, because if we can admit, and I think most of us can, that things like loot boxes and, you know, surprise mechanics, is good old fucking EA would say.
The only surprise mechanic you got in a loot box is a surprise after you get done spending your money, realize how much you fucking wasted. That's the only surprise mechanic you ever got. Fucking, what y'all talking about? Biden has dementia. Even if he, let's say he does, okay? Let's say he doesn't. Let's say Biden doesn't have dementia. You think that would increase the chances he'd be able to figure out the fucking phone? No. He wouldn't have figured it out then either. It doesn't matter. There's nothing to do with the conversation.
Are detrimental to mental health, which I do firmly believe that is the case, and why countries,
Yo, imagine if Trump was still the president and he changed his profile picture to an NFT. Oh my god. That would be, bro, like, that's not very hard to imagine. No, it's not. Like, that shit could happen. Like, that's so fucking funny.
Like, Belgium and Netherlands are way ahead of the pack of trying to look after their citizens by banning predatory practices like this. You should be able to also admit that play to earn is going to be rife with predatory mechanics that prey on people with mental health issues and perpetuate, of course, the gambling addictions that we.
What do you think they spend the damn money on? You think they spend all that money developing the game so they can't farm out some fucking mentally ill person, steal all their fucking government checks? Like, that's probably what this dude's thinking, right? He's like, man, the government keeps taxing me all this fucking money. I gotta figure out a way to get my money back from the government. Oh, I know. Let's find a bunch of mentally ill people that get checks from the government because they're mentally ill and fucking steal their money so I get my tax money back. Obviously.
You'll see in more and more people. If you live in the UK,
brother?
We have a problem with this, even though it is regulated to some extent.
Oh my
Anytime
God.
you watch anything sports related, every single advert is gambling, just shoved down your throat, and it's in the middle of the day. They don't really care about it. It's something that in gaming really needs to be looked at, and I'm very surprised that South Korea is ahead of the pack on this, especially when you consider how their games in general, how their gaming industry actually works. where they do have predatory gambling games basically as a baseline, like Black Desert Online, things like that. They're all based on RNG, and you can basically turn real money into that RNG. So yeah, the fact that they're even saying, blockchain bad, and these games are probably going to be really bad, that should go to show, guys, that if they're not able to accept it, why the fuck should we as a culture? Quote, if an in-game system allows users to exchange items with...
Imagine the same culture that says pay to win is great. Nah, man, like this blockchain shit, that's too much. That's too much. Those are the guys. That's come on, man. Come the fuck on. It is nuts. This dude low-key racist against Koreans? Yeah, you know what low-key that is? It's not a key because it's not happening. Shut up, idiot. I was trying to think of something clever to say. I couldn't think of it. It's just a stupid comment. Just because people do shit different in the other side of the world, other places in the world, and you comment on the differences, it does not mean that it's racist.
Goods, there may be a chance of speculation where the game may fall into the age 18 plus classification and not available for the youth under 18, the Korean Game Rating and Administration Committee said in a statement on Friday. So yeah, there you go. Another game called Everybody's Marble Meta World. Fucking absolutely
everybody
gross.
Owns it.
Will use metaverse and NFT technologies, allowing players to purchase land in a virtual world. Players can also build and trade NFTs, real estate, Netmarble said in a statement. NFTs are digital assets stored on the blockchain that certify the authenticity of objects such as music, artwork, and in-game items.
Well, this is the same shit I said before. Like, you go over to the thrift store, and if you go over and find, Pastor Johnston's Baptist Church Revival 2016, and it's a picture of Jesus with an AK-47, and he's shooting Satan. Actually, that's a good shirt. If somebody makes that, I would wear it. But, let's assume it's not as cool. It's just a picture of Jesus and he's holding a flower. Who gives a shit, right? So, just because there's only a dozen of those made, it doesn't mean that they're expensive, or that they're worth money. Just because something is rare doesn't mean it's valuable, or something is, there's only one made in the world. There's a lot of things that there's only one made in the world of, and it ain't worth shit. It's just like, what do you mean? If there's a demand? But there's not. There's not a demand for it. The only demand that people have for it, do you think there's people actually clamoring to fucking get these NFTs? No. They're clamoring to buy this shit so they can sell it to somebody who's even dumber than they are, who's going to spend even more money. That's it. There's not people like, oh wow, I need to have this for myself. No, like, what the fuck? Of course not.
Still using this as like a lie, or like at least a misunderstanding of what NFTs really are.
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm aware, it's only the metadata of what the NFT points to that is on the blockchain.
Did you see the Coachella NFTs? Yeah, I did. I thought that wasn't actually really that bad of a use of NFT. Like, of all, all things considered, that was kind of interesting. Right, but I saw this fucking oh my god, what was this? That tour that they were gonna do, that they're doing, When We Were Young. Was that it? And it had like all the bands that were popular in like the mid 2000s going on tour together. That's the last place I'd want to go. That is the last fucking place I would want to go, because everybody there is gonna be like they're gonna be 29 years old. 33 years old, wearing corpse paint, fucking blotting out their eyes with all the black mascara, just like they did in MySpace in 2017, except for instead of being a skinny guy that's 115 pounds, they're twice that size, and they're wearing the same clothes, and they're balding, and their hair is going gray. Like, I swear to fucking God, man. Like, 2007, I meant 2007. Shut the fuck up. 2007, not 2017. 2007. And, like, I would have to go to church and get into religion if I went to that concert, because I would end that concert with more existential dread than fucking anybody ever. Like, it would fuck me up to go to that concert. I mean, really, like, it's sounds like you're projecting a bit. What? No, I think it's depressing because you go there and it's like, man, dude, this shit used to be so cool, and now we're fucking old. And it's not like the cool kind of old whenever you're 60. It's just the fucking shittier version of the 20s kind of old whenever you're in your 30s. It's just worse. It's just you? Well, you know what? I hate it whenever people have fun. Because that shit would weird me the fuck out. I hate that shit. Isn't that classic WoW? Yes, but you're in a video game. And so people don't... Like, my character has as good of a hairline as he had in 2006. I hate people having fun too. It stresses me. Like, I don't know. I saw that. I just found it depressing, man, because it just made me think about how long ago it was. This has nothing to do with the video. It's just a random, just something I was thinking about the other day. Imagine thinking 30's old. Bro, you're on this website. You're 23 years old.
Actual thing that the NFT points to is not on the blockchain. Like, if you buy an NFT right now of a picture of my balls, I would have to upload the picture of my balls onto a service somewhere, onto, you know, my website or whatever. Wait
a minute, he just cut. Did he actually? Like, I bet he cut that shit out because he had to sit down there and think about how would I fucking upload a picture of my balls onto the internet? Watch him cut.
Upload the picture of my balls onto a service somewhere, onto, you know.
See, exactly right there. He cut because he had to think it out. He had to strategize. How can I get my balls on the internet? What's the best way to do it?
My website or whatever, and then have a URL that the NFT points to using metadata that is on that website, right? And then if I take down that website, the NFT then points to nothing and is therefore nothing. But, like, the idea, maybe NFTs in the future will have actual assets within them, contained within them.
Yeah.
But right now, that is not the case. So saying NFTs are digital assets stored on the blockchain that certify the authenticity of objects such as music, artwork, and in-game items.
Sure, whenever NFTs come up with something that's useful, that'll be great. We're all waiting for that. But I'm not going to walk outside today wearing an umbrella because it's going to rain tomorrow. I'm not going to do that. I'm waiting to see it happen. And whenever it happens, then I will change the way I feel about it. Wearing an umbrella? Yeah, holding an umbrella? What do you do with an umbrella? I never use umbrella. I just get rained on, man. That's a free shower. Rainy day keeps the shower away. Ain't you ever heard that?
So I think you do need to go a little bit more in depth there to explain that nothing is actually stored on the blockchain, apart from literally metadata that tells you, oh, on this server there is this thing, and you technically own this thing, despite the fact it's not actually contained within that data. So, quote, the metaverse will not only transplant various elements from the game, but also converge with the blockchain technology to create a second real world beyond the virtual, Bang said.
What?
Bang's distant cousin, Bang Soo-hyuk.
Wait, what the fuck does that mean, bro? The metaverse will not only transplant various elements from the game, but will also converge with the blockchain technology to create a second real world beyond the virtual. So is this real or is it virtual? Like, like, what the fuck does this? This is like. This, like, you've got to be, like, high to fucking say this. You've got to be, like, on some kind of drug. This comes out of somebody, like, they're so fucking high. This is, like, if you're on enough drugs to understand this, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is the cops can't see you if you stand perfectly still shit. Like, what the fuck?
The billionaire founder of Hybe is also optimistic about NFTs. Why are they all billionaires? Is this just a family of billionaires?
I wonder how would something like
in
this
early
happen?
November, Hybe, the agency behind K-pop powerhouse BTS, said it would team up with Korea's largest cryptocurrency exchange operator to issue NFT.
You know what's really fucking upsetting about this is, like, a lot of people into cryptocurrency, it's guys, right? It's mainly guys, I'd say, in the space. The one thing that we had over women is that we could make fun of the astrology shit. And we managed to come up with something even dumber than that. We managed to come up with something even stupider than astrology with this horse shit. Like, I cannot believe this, man. Like, this is an own goal, guys. This is an own goal. Wow.
Cards of its artists. just another. I mean, K-pop is already one of the single most exploited commodities, I guess you could call it. Commodities being fucking people with lives.
You ever think like being a streamer is like mentally taxing or like fucking you up? Read about what happens with those K-pop people. Oh my god.
If you look into the industry of K-pop, there's a very, very rough past of how they're made. It's literally manufactured like in a factory. They're just churning out people, and the amount of personal life these people are allowed to have is almost zero. That might be some outdated information, but even up until a couple of years ago, there's still stories of this and how bad it is to be in that industry. So I guess this is just the next stage of exploitation.
I read about it, but like the thing is with me, whenever I fucking read about shit in Korea, like I've never been to Korea. I don't speak Korean. I have no idea what happens in Korea. So like everything that you're reading is through a foggy mirror, right? It's through a foggy lens. And it's like everybody, like, what is a better story? That the Korean pop stars have a, an interesting life, that, there's some weird, quirky stuff about it, or that they're basically slaves to big corporations. Well, the second one gets way more people to fucking read it. So if, like, guess what? Some fucking crazy shit happens, I never rule out the possibility that the people writing it could just be full of shit. Who cares? Me? Yeah, what do you mean? I care? Why would I be talking about it? Yeah, what do you mean? Like, yeah, what'd you think this was? He's way off with K-pop's sake? Yeah, I can't say for sure, man. That's all I'm trying to say, right? It's like, I don't know what's real. I have no window into the culture. How could I know?
And for those people where you can just, we're already controlling your lives completely. Now let's sell pictures of you on the blockchain. Cool. So apart from Netmarble, other Korean gaming companies also showed interest in blockchain and cryptocurrency. Mer4, a blockchain-based game developed by WeMade, had helped the Korea-listed company's shares surge more than 400% in 3 months. After it was available globally in August last year, the share price raise made its founder, Park Kwon-ho, a billionaire. I mean, what do you even say about this at this stage, guys? If you can't see that this is just, they're literally just going after this. We've made a blockchain game, and it's not available in the country where we reside because it's not allowed, but we're going to publish it to the rest of the world, and in 3 months our whole company's share price has gone up by 400%. That's just crazy. You can see why all these companies are doing this, and regardless of what we say as gamers, like regardless of us being the target demographic for things like this, and the gaming news points to this and says like, oh, these games are coming out, they're not games for us. They're games for a completely different audience. And honestly, we can start getting into having a discussion, which I do think would be interesting to have, which is, there is obviously an audience for these things, right? And that is allowed to exist. I don't agree.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you let people do whatever the fuck they want. This is the same thing I said with Diablo Immortal. Diablo Immortal ain't the problem. The problem is that it's not Diablo 4. Like, it's not the fact that we get the mobile game, it's the fact that we got that instead of the actual game. Like, if they had announced Diablo 4 and Diablo Immortal at the same time, nobody would have given a fuck. Nobody would have given a fuck at all. It would have been fine. People would have been like, oh, that's cool, we can play it on our phones too, that's badass, right? And like, they could have even said, don't y'all have phones? And people would be like, well, yeah, actually I kind of do. But like, now it's a meme because we didn't get the actual game. And so like, but think about it, that's true. I believe that. And so like, if they want to make games to farm out some suburban mom because she's believing in like some fucking stupid kid thinks he's going to get rich playing some stupid ass fucking mobile game that's on the blockchain, that's fine. Like, go ahead and do that. But the thing is that whenever you make money off of people, and it's in an unethical way, that is when the government needs to fucking regulate that shit. And it needs to be regulated to be ethical. It needs to be fucking regulated to be ethical, because right now, I think that the loot boxes and that kind of shit are not ethical. Now, I've opened up loot boxes. I've opened up many loot boxes. And over the years, I have had my opinion on this evolve, and I've learned more about it. And the way I feel about it now is I am not a fan of loot boxes. I don't think they need to be in any game. It's unnecessary. It's unethical gaming? Well, you're wrong. It's not unethical gaming. It's gambling. It's gambling. That's what it is. It's fucking gambling. Sell the cosmetics directly. I just want loot boxes to have a gambling disclaimer. I don't want it removed because I like it as a mechanic. Nah, bro, you can't have it. The thing is that, in my opinion, video games like that, these are games that are designed to appeal to people under the age of 18. There is a reason why they outlawed flavored cigarettes. It's because they were made and they were proven. Everybody fucking knew it, that they were done and made in order to appeal to kids. And this is the same fucking thing. This is our generation's flavored cigarettes. Everybody fucking knows it.
With it, but I also don't agree with mobile games in general. I don't play mobile games, but that obviously has a market of people, and I'm not one of the people that are like, oh, this shouldn't exist because I don't like it. If there is a audience for something and a company says, we're going to service that audience,
do
cool,
it.
You go do that, guys. But the problem is with NFT games, a lot of these companies are pushing it in front of us as the PC gamer audience, or even the mobile gamer audience, and saying, these are the games. Like, here's a game, here's a blockchain game.
Yeah.
Same thing, right? You know, where's the difference? Same thing. And they're pretending that we're stupid enough to fall for that.
Yeah.
And the fact is, guys, if a game has come out and has raised the share price of a company 400% in 3 months, this is all you need to know.
Bro, it must be literally it must be a good game. That's what it is. It's got to be such a good game. The gameplay must be just incredible, amazing. Like, how could it not be good if it raised the price that much? Amazing, boys. Isn't it fucking amazing?
Only statistic you need to see to know that this is the future for these companies. Obviously, as gamers, we're still going to have indie companies. We're still going to have companies that get bigger in place of the companies that do this kind of stuff. This isn't going to take over and replace gaming for everybody, because while ever there's a market of us, people like you and me watching this video who don't like this, there will be companies that will rise up through the ranks that we give money to that will service us, and these companies will service somebody else. So obviously, like, there is a conversation of nuance to be had on that point, but I obviously don't like this shit. I don't like when companies are saying, this is a game for you. You know, you are a gamer. This is, you know, these games are for gamers, when quite clearly they're not. They're for someone completely different.
They're for the shareholders. That's who they're for.
Which is, you know, I don't think this should be allowed. I think it does need to be regulated.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is definitely something to be said about that, and a conversation to be had. But yeah, there we go. That's my take on it. This is probably something we'll have to explore a little bit deeper as I get to think about it a little bit more. But the fact that a South Korean company is just like, yeah, fuck the South Korean market, let's just release NFT games to the world, it just goes to show they don't give a fuck, bro. This is literally just chasing that bag. Billionaires chasing that bag. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Just a little bit of a rant today, a little bit of a ramble since I didn't have anything prepared. But hopefully it is a little bit illuminating, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe. We're out. Peace.
There it is. Government bans that shit, they get fucked. Yeah, I think so too. I think so. Like, again, I feel like this is just it's just bullshit that's being used to manipulate people and get them to waste their money and fuck them over. It's not doing anybody any favors.
I'm going to try and provide you with all the details. I found myself...
Sorry, guys. That's some weird shit happened. No one's forcing you to buy, though? Well, I mean, like, you say that with anything, right? But I think that, like, to a certain point that, like, the government... Like, why do you have any regulations on any product if you could use that argument to it in any way? You know what I mean? Like, you could use that argument to anything. Let me go ahead. I'm going to link this real quick. Yeah, there we go. The argument's fucking fallacy. Well, it's not entirely a fallacy. Like, there's some truth in it as well, but it's not black or white. Like, that's all I'm saying. It's not black or white. Is that anime pillow mainstream nowadays? What are you trying to say? Yeah, what do you got? You got something to say about it or what? Huh? Who wants to get fucking banned? But yeah, anyway, what I'm saying about this is that I really think that it should be regulated, and government needs to cut down on this, like, loot box, like, gambling shit. You've seen CSGO handles loot boxes better because you can buy all the content of the loot boxes directly. Like, in my opinion, here's my opinion. No loot boxes. Have you seen line goes up problem with NFTs? I think I got that shit on my watch later, right? Yeah, it's right. This is 2 fucking hours. We're not going to watch that. Dude, imagine me watching a 2-hour NFT video. Videos only go up to 10 hours, right? Yeah, like a video only goes up to like 10 hours. I'm pretty sure it does. Is it like you can't do a video that's longer than 10 hours? Yeah, so like I feel like that's not going to work.